Okay. Sejilombo dava jebe go jeje zo de language drama za to je jango no mande che je ngombo je dava taji se ba kunje che je nyame je gon renje ngo ja pa so senje taji je lo cho so do wa jinje lo cholando lo wa jinje lo do so lan cho ba so wa jinje lo do so cho ba je so cho wa jinje lo do so ne je de banda la man so la je so je senje ha dal ha man so la je so Nasa Pandalaman Sola Jabso, Tova Tatuwa Jinji Laptoso, Tuji Shinto Jinji Laptoso, Tazadona Dama Jinji Laptoso, Chaja Chambecho Mundu, Sendi in Latova Jinji Laptoso, Tosu Sajitan Jinji Lucho, Sandova Jinji Laptoso, Chalandolo Jinji Laptoso, Lantrova Sawa Jinji Laptoso, Trova Ishis Java Jinji Laptoso, Niji Pandalaman Sola Jabso, Chuji Sinjal Hadalaman Sola Jasujo, Nasa Pandalaman Sola Jasujo, Tova Tatuwa Jinji Laptoso. Tuji Shinto Jinji Laptoso, Tazadona Dama Jinji Laptoso, Chaja Chambecho Mundu, Sendi in Latova Jinji Laptoso, Tosu Sajitan Jinji Lucho, Sandova Jinji Laptoso, Chalandolo Jinji Laptoso. Lantu Basawa Jinji Laptoso, Tuba Ishis Java Jinji Laptoso, Niji Bandalama Sola Jasujo, Chuji Sinjal Hadalaman Sola Jasujo, Nasa Pandalaman Sola Jasujo, Tova Tatuwa Jinji Laptoso, Tuji Shinto Jinji Laptoso. Tazadona Majinji Laptoso, Chaja Chambecho Mundu, Sendi in Latova Jinji Laptoso, Sanja Kundu Savala, Kusunkuba Chambecha, Salon de Menalo Rawashibata, Sadan Rovanyamba Jinji. Good morning, everyone. First, we should prepare our motivation, altruistic motivation of Bodhicitta. Today, I'm going to receive the teaching for benefit of every sentient beings. I think on this subject is come later, one related to this subject. So we will discuss more on there, but always be, we said virtue as a beginning, virtue as a middle, virtue as an end. So what does the virtue as a beginning mean? That what kind of intention we have for receiving teachings or any kind of dharma activities. Most important is the intention. Without the supported by the good intention, even we do dharma activity, it can be possible to go to wrong path, wrong way. It can give you wrong, what called the negative result from the dharma practice. So that reason, I think intention is important. Lots of people don't think as a preliminary is not that important as a actually practice. But actually, true is where go the actually practice, which direction goes is based on the preliminary. If our actually practice is supported by the preliminary of a negative intention, even practice itself is correctly we did, but still only give us a result as a negative. So that reason, virtue as a beginning or preliminary practice, we can use as a preliminary or we can use as a motivation is I think key to this reason. Lord Jidasumgun said, others non-profound is my profound. Why? Because other think, like a preliminary practice is not that much profound as a actually practice. Like if you ask to some master, which is more profound, Ngondro practice or Mahamudra, I think pretty much everyone will say Mahamudra is more profound. But the truth is Mahamudra only can become profound if that is supported by the good base of a Ngondro practice. If our Ngondro is not good, preliminary practice is not good, actually we will never reach to the Mahamudra state. we couldn't practice the Mahamudra. We will never understand about the Mahamudra. So we don't have that profound one. So this reason, Lord Jiddu Sungpa says, others non-profound is my profound. So please we should generate the motivation of a bodhicitta as a preliminary practice. Okay, so now we are talking about this 14th things that are meaningless. Here in the Tibetan called the meaningless, it means like a wasted or something you wasted, something you lost the opportunity, something you couldn't take the advantage of. What should you do? So that is what is meaningless mean. Main point is, I think here more like you lost it, something you lost, something you wasted. So like we already talked about the wasting precious human life. One. Second is we talk about the, like a mundane life. It looks beautiful, but it's always bringing to the misery. So this is what it means. The samsaric pleasure it looks beautiful, but it always ends up with the miserable. So that one is the second one. And third one is if even you live with the qualified guru, if you're part of the service, which is called the devotion or faith, if you don't have that one, no matter how qualified guru or how high that master is not going to receive anything to you. It's just like a rock. What called that? This ocean rock. Lifetime of those ocean rock live on the water, but never become soft. So without the devotion, living with the great master is like a rock in the ocean, never become soft. Then fourth one is if we don't use what we learn, like Dharma as an antidote of the afflictive emotion, then no matter how much we learn Dharma, it's meaningless because it's not going to do anything. So those four we already talked last week. Now today we're going to talk the fifth one because last week I think internet wasn't good. Fifth one, like the sick person holding the bag of medicine, it's meaningless to have heard oral instruction that don't remedy disturbing emotions. Someone is sick, and they have a huge amount of medicine. That medicine is not using because there's many reasons. One, maybe that person doesn't know which one is it take. So that way they're not using. Another one is that maybe that person doesn't have a faith or trust on that medicine, that we're not using. So this is an example, is someone who have all sort of a medicine, but not using them for the treating their sickness. So that person have a medicine or not have a medicine, it doesn't matter because it's not curing that sickness, not treating that sickness. Same way as if our Dharma practice is not become antidote of the afflicting emotion, then it's the same as we don't have a Dharma because we couldn't practice the Dharma. Lots of people think practicing Dharma mean the kind of sit somewhere, or practicing Dharma mean the reciting the mantra, or practicing Dharma mean the, there's some kind of like you counting how many empowerment you receive, how many instruction you have, how many high guru, counting those. That is not really practicing Dharma. Practicing Dharma is directly being antidote of the afflicted emotions. Buddha only taught 3 subjects. Okay, 3 subjects as a 3 baskets. Vinaya, Abhidhamma, Sutra. Every Buddha's teaching is belonging in these 3 subjects. So those 3, why Buddha taught the 3 subjects? Because we are samsara. Reason is controlled by those 3 emotions: ignorance, attachment, aversions. So Buddha taught as an antidote of the ignorance is a wisdom, antidote of the attachment is a vinaya, and antidote of the aversion is the abhidhamma. Sutra. So the reason Buddhism is a main point is we're not about like seeking to gain something from somewhere. You're not going to gain anything from your guru. You're not going to gain anything from your dharma practice. You're not going to gain anything from the deity or anywhere. Only what we achieve or what we successful from the practicing is losing our emotions. So if our emotion is not losing, if our negative emotion is not decreasing, if our negative emotion is not becoming smaller, we are not succeeding our dharma practice. It's just like you have a huge number of list of the receiving the teachings, but you are nothing changed, So then doesn't matter how much you have. It's just like a sick one who carrying so much medicine, but not using those or don't know how to use those medicine, so that we're not helping anything for that they're sick. So no matter how much we receive, if we're not using or if we're not practicing them, then it's just like a meaningless, or it's the same as we don't have. So in the Tibetan, we said like receiving the instruction from leprosy disease one about the Garuda instruction, and receiving the wealth deity instruction from the poor one. So it means if they have a really meaningful Garuda instruction, first of all, they never get the disease like what called leprosy disease, because the leprosy disease is related to the Naga. It's some kind of Naga disease we count as they are related to the Naga. And Garuda is the antidote of the Naga, overpowering the Naga. If you truly have a Garuda instruction yourself, you will never get to the leprosy disease. Same thing is if you truly have the wealth deity power, then you never become a poor, first of all. So Khenpo Rinpoche always a joke. If Lama who giving those wealth, wealth deity, like called the vase and empowerment, or those large, is a really popular wealth deity. So first, should they improve themselves to become really rich by that practice, then should give. So I think if it is not working to us, it's not going to work to anyone else. So that way, if we're not practicing ourselves, I think it's not going to benefit anyone else too from those all the instruction what we receive. So this reason should whatever we learn have to be tried to practical with that. I think that is the main point as what is mean the being Buddhism. So number 6 is that like a parrot reciting the verses. It means the chanting prayer. It is meaningless to have a trunk aspect to Dharma term that are not taken into heart. So this is what does it really mean that Dharma take it into the heart? You just have to believe something or not. This is not talking about that you believe or not. I think in the Tibetan we said Thoda Shishin Dua Gonda Nyomo Membas. What is mean the sign of well learned is peaceful or humble, being disciplined or humble or peaceful is a sign of a well learned. And a sign of a well meditated is a lack of what called no afflictive emotions. So it means that like if you learn really well, same time your ego, arrogant, pride is going high. It means that you're not taking to your heart that what you learn. Okay, in the same way, you did so much retreat, meditation, but at the same time, the more you do retreat, your afflictive emotion is increasing. Attachment, hatred, jealousy, that kind of afflictive emotion is increasing. That means your meditation is not take into the heart. So I think this is really talking about what this mean that taking into the heart. Mean that this is a kind of a, it's not using ourselves. We're always looking for outside. So I think that reason, whatever we learn is we have to be adjust with that to try to much as we can. I mean, I'm not saying when you become a Buddhism, you have to be perfect. Okay, once you become a retreater, I mean, once you're learning, for example, once you're learning, you're a scholar, you don't have to become a perfect practitioner. And you are go to retreat, you don't have to be immediately eliminate all the afflictive emotions. But I mean, some people take longer, some people take shorter, but you have to try to change how much it benefited for you from that. So then it's called take it into the heart, not just only believe, not just only I didn't believe, because I mean, pretty much we all believe in the Dharma. We have a faith, we have a belief. That is not talking about the taking into heart mean. Here is a taking into heart mean is a really insidely changing, by Dharma. Like before someone is careless, like Angulimala, he thinks that killing being is a part of his ritual to liberation. But since he met Buddha and he understood he was a mistake, after that he became one of the most peaceful person. So even Buddha gave him a name as a what called this Sanskrit, the peace. Is related to the peace. So he became that one. And how he become that one is actually one day he went to in the street, end of his life. He went to in the street to begging food. And people beat him until death. He took all those beating. He didn't do anything. He was Arhat. Actually, if he wanted, he can show the miracle power to destroy them. But he didn't. He becomes so calm and so peaceful. So the heart is what is mean that taking into heart. Okay, now 7, like trying to wash sheepskin coat in the plain water. It is meaningless to be generous with the wealth acquired through thievery, robbery, or deceptions. So this one is like a Tibetan leather coat, sheepskin leather coat is a hand sopped. That hand sopped is it cannot wash in the water. If you wash in the water, it becomes really hot. It's not same as a machine sopped one. I think some of a machine sopped leather coat, you can wash in the water. There's no problem. But this is talking about the Tibetan style. So in the Tibet, we never wash the leather coat in the water, because if you wash in the water, then it's become really hot. You cannot use anymore. So that is the example. So here is that the meaning is like you try to practice of generosity, giving food to someone, but that wealth is collected or accumulated through negative way, like thievery, robbery, or deceptions. then this is meaningless because it's not going to give any kind of mm, uh, good result, because it's created by the negative, created from the negative. In the also in the Buddhism, is we call the it's called the wrong livelihood. Why it's a wrong livelihood is because it's come from the negative way. It's not come from the legally, or it's not come from. So this one is including this one is like when somebody offering to the three jewels like Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. If you use that material to the lower one, also this is called giving to higher material, higher beings and material, superior material to the lower one, also become a heavy negative karma. So if you collect it to the money, to this day lots of monks do it as a collecting the donation, like and said, oh, I want to build a statue, I want to build a temple, I want to support the monks. But then when you collect the donation and start buying cars, start building house, and those are from that donation, and there's a really heavy negative karma, because you are deceiving from all those monks what you ask. Like if you ask to donation to the monastery and you use yourself, it says equally, if you even use $1, equally you are stealing $1 from every individual monks from that monastery. So it's become a heavy negative karma, because it's belong to the community. And so also if you give to your family member from that money, what you collected for that money, it's a really negative karma. This is what I heard. This one, I don't know, I haven't read the text, but I heard this one. Tsongkhapa, later he became a kind of like famous guru, and people offering him food, lots of good things. So one day his mother came and she said to him, now you are really successful Lama. You have all those wealth, material, that good food, good place. Why you don't share me some? So Tsongkhapa picked up his teacup and throw that leftover tea on the rock, and rock crack, and said, this is a really heavy negative karma. Even the rock couldn't take this. If you can take this one, then yes, I will share with you. So I heard he never shared with his mother those, offerings to monks or monastery. So I think this is it. Any kind of through the negative way, collected, and even we do like a positive, like generosities, it only destroying that our merit. It's like if you don't wash the leather coat, it may be a little bit smelly, but it's okay, you can use. But if you wash in the water the leather coat, then the smell may gone, it looks good, okay, but it become useless because you cannot wear anymore, become really hot. So same way, if you do the generous practice, it looks beautiful. Well, you do something wonderful, but from there too, you are actually making negative karma. So so that way, I think this is when we're doing dharma, I mean generosity or offering or anything, and offering to the guru, offering to the three jewels, offering to the parent, offering to the, or giving to the generously, giving to the poor one, never accumulate the merit, the material through the negative action. Once we accumulate through the negative way, it become a feeding wrong livelihood to the offering to the wrong livelihood material, then it's a really heavy negative karma. So that is what is mean is saying is a from that action looks nice, like washing clothes is really nice, but it destroying that cloth. Same thing as a that action of being generosity is a kind of looks nice, but you're destroying to yourself and other everyone from who involved with this. So that way it's so meaningless or wasted of the that action. Okay, then like hunting, number 8, like handing mother her child's flesh is a meaningless to make offering to the 3 jewels to her the other sentient beings. So first one is a number 7 is a giving, and being generosity mainly is giving to the sentient being. Now this is offering. So is this like a no matter how mother is hungry, she will never enjoy if somebody hand her own child's flesh as a food. Yeah, I don't think so any mother can eat unless there is a really senseless one, someone so evil one. Otherwise I don't think so anyone like a basic senseful person, no one will eat that one, no matter how hungry she is. Same thing as for the Buddha and Bodhisattvas in their heart. Every sentient being is like a child of the child, like a only child of the mother, So how much mother can love to the child is no measurement, no limitation. Same thing as all the Buddha and Bodhisattva that much love and care sentient beings. So now if we herd one beings, sentient beings, from that herd to try to offering to the 3 jewels, then it never become an offering. This is like in the Tibetan Buddhism, lots of people do Gana Chakra offering, chalk offering. And a lot of time, when I was a kid, all time we use that one in a monastery or when we do to the ritual to the family house, until I understood this one is that's mistake. People use a meat, okay, it's called the choksha, meat for the Gana Chakra offering. I think that was misunderstood. In the Gana Chakra offering, there's called the 5 meat. Those 5 meat are basically no human being eat them. If you have a wisdom power can transform them edible to the eatable, something that is supposed to be, you cannot eat, like poison transform to the medicine. It's similar like that. Then yes, you can use those 5 meats, but it's not mean that we have to have a meat, because Tsultrim Rinpoche said, if you use meat in the talk, Buddha and Bodhisattva will not come to receive that offerings. Only spirit, evil spirit comes. So if you offering to the evil spirit is increasing your evilness, slowly you become that evilness. You gain some power, yes, you get some superpower, but that superpower will be becoming evil. So that way, Tsultrim Rinpoche said also never use the talk meat. So I think these kind of things. Also, that is not only that one. Also, sometime we namesake of the Dharma, we're using lots of unnecessary way, what called the financial material to unnecessary way lots of time, so those are, maybe I'm not sure this is the right things to do or not. If we look this way, if you hurt sentient being and try to offer to the 3 jewel Buddha Dhamma Sangha, they will never appreciate with that, they never enjoy with that, because they knew where it come from. Also, sometimes people don't want to give to the need one, somebody who dying, no food, no clothes. but don't want to share anything, but no problem to share into the offering. So I'm not sure that is the really right things to do or not. But I mean, I don't know. But basically, if we want to offering anything that what you have legally, or you have a righteous right to, you have, okay, honestly you have, whatever you have, doesn't matter it's a small or big, then it's become a great offering, pure offering, okay, pure material offering. If we accumulate negative way the material, and the offering is called the impure offering. In the jewel ornament is called the impure giving, impure material. So that reason, even we're offering to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, if that material is involved of the negative karma or negative, something is involved to the negative way to accumulate that one, then it's become actually negative. Like lots of time in the lots of monastery in the Tibet, like have on the mountain. Then sometimes we're using lots of animal to carry things to the building monastery. So I'm not sure that's also right things to do or not, because we are abusing the animal to bring all those heavy things to the monastery. And when animals get tired, then we stick with the whip, and say, oh, they're being lazy or this and that. So I think things like that, those are not really serving to the three jewels. Even your action is related to the dharma, related to the temple pagoda, but still is hurting other beings, is not going to be appreciated by the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So that reason is like handing the child's meat, child's flesh as a cook to the and feeding to the mother. So it's never be going to be turn out good if that is something involved this way. So that way, nothing offering to the three jewels, which is accumulated through the negative action. Okay, now number 9, like a cat lying in the wait for the mouse, is meaningless to be disciplined and patient for interest of this life. So a cat is really gentle, careful, disciplined. When they waiting for the mouse, they can wait a long time, and then how they walk, how they, sit, all is really disciplined. But the main reason why they're disciplined is a negative action, like killing or self-centered, selfishness. And so that way, no matter how disciplined, how careful, how well-trained themselves, but only it bring to the negative karma. So it's not for good, not good come from that well-disciplined, well-trained, patient, being patient like that. So same thing is if we are, for sake of fame and receiving offering or things that reason, if you like you do in the Tibetan, is called the tsuchu, one of the 5 wrong livelihood, tsuchu, which just mean that, like it's English, I think, pretentious behavior, pretending something not you, is not come from inside from your heart. You just calculatively pretending, calculated behavior. So around the sponsor, around the devoter, and you become really careful, you look like so really well disciplined, so that way you receive some fame, you receive some donation, you receive some offering, and it's some people show you what called respect. So those all is gaining this kind of things reason, because that reason, if we well discipline ourselves, then it's it's a not come good result from that. That is that reason is called the pretentious behavior or suchu in the Tibetan. So that whatever you gain through that behavior is become wrong livelihood. So that way it's just that kind of a discipline. For that reason, if we're being disciplined, we're being, careful or whatever we do, be patient, or whatever, tolerant, because there are reasons, then it's not going to bring the good result, because it's nothing have to do with the devotion, it's nothing have to do with the faith. It's a bad intention. With the negative intention, we are doing that one. So in the Buddhism, is a, one of the Indian masters called Arya Deva, he said, some religion is mainly focused on the physically disciplined. They really disciplined. And some religion is mainly focused on the verbal, like chanting, praying, and things like that. Really, involved so much. But Buddhism will have to be emphasized on the mind. So if we do what called potentious behavior, then nothing mind is involved there. Mind is with the crock, with the selfishness, with the attachment, with the negative emotion. So that reason we are potentiating, we are something that is involved to the negative intention to being disciplined, So then it's just like a meaningless, and it means that no matter how much you discipline, no matter how much you being patient, no matter how much you learn to the tolerant, it will not become a path to the liberations. All those your what called sacrifice, all those sacrifice or all those hardships not become a path to the liberation, because it's based on the pretentious, I think it's called the PRETEN and TIOU. S, I think potential. My pronunciation is not good. Something like that. So that way it only bring to the negative. So it's like same as a well-disciplined, well-patient cat. Okay, then number 10 is it trading, wish-fulfilling jewel for the pile of an ordinary gem, load of a leftover chunk mash, or single bag of a zamba. It's meaningless to be performed the abstentious, abstentious, or it's mainly talking about the enormous, like a great merit, a virtuous action out of a desire for mundane praise, fame, honor, and gain. So this one is really good. You remember earlier I said I will talk about what is the intention can change. So this one, if we accumulate the merit with the intention of the altruistic motivation or renunciation, then it gives a great result continually. But if we accumulate the merit with the intention of a worldly benefit, like become a long life, become a famous, become a healthy or whatever, it gives you the one-time result, but that is the final result. There are no more. So this is the same as you exchanging, trading, or exchanging wish-fulfilling jewel to the ordinary jewel. Because ordinary jewel or food, if you get the food, one time you eat, then gone. So but if you keep the wish-fulfilling jewel, you will get that kind of food continually, never end. So that way, when we accumulate the merit with the intention of a mundane benefit, you will gain the mundane benefit one time, and that is the final one. But if we accumulate the merit with the intention of altruistic motivation or motivation of the renunciation, that until you reach to that final liberation, you will experience the result continually by without exhausting that merit. So this is a difference between the wish fulfilling jewel and bag of tsamba. Bag of tsamba can end soon. Wish fulfilling jewel, what you get benefit is never end, continually give you. So that way, I think this is similar with what kind of intention. So if we do great merit, to gain for the worldly, this kind of a benefit, like a prize, fame, honor, wealth, then you will get that one. But once you get that one, the merit result is ain't there. But if you dedicate it to the Buddhahood, that merit, it will never end until result continually, where you will experience the result continually until you become a Buddhahood. So that is the difference. That way, when we do, no matter how amount of a merit we do, always try to do for liberation, not the mundane benefit. As if you do, what called the numerous of a great merit for intention with the mundane benefit, then you will get only one time some benefit, then it's gone. So it's like exchanging, wish fulfilling jewels. The wish fulfilling jewel means that something continually can fulfill all your wishes, whatever you have, to exchange it to the just bowl of food. And like a doctor stuck by the incurable disease, it is meaningless to have studied a lot and yet remain the ordinary person. So this one is what it means. Is like if doctor is really like a incurable disease, then no matter how skillful doctor he or she is not going to be free from that disease. That disease will be there no matter how skillful, a great doctor he or she they're not hopeless. So sometimes when we have some people have some kind of disease and doctor said, okay, this is I cannot treat this one. So it's just like nobody can treat. So who is it like that? Is a person who have a lot of knowledge about the Dharma, but nothing changing themselves. So this ordinary is not talking about that like ordinary and extraordinary is ordinary. This is talking about ordinary mean the like if we stay same personality, same attitude, same person before the Dharma and after the Dharma, nothing changed. That is this one. Ordinary mean that whatever you are, who you are, nothing change. It stay that way. So no matter how much we learn, it's not really. So it's just like a doctor. When they're learning medicine, they have to learn how to take care of themselves too. But they're learning, but they're not taking care of themselves, their health. Then when get to the final stage of the disease, then it's nobody can cure. No matter how much knowledge you have, nothing cure yourself. Why? Because you never change yourself. You're not changing your, what called them. Eating, you're not changing your living lifestyle. You live same way before you before you learn in medicine and after you learn medicine. If you live same way, no matter how much knowledge you gain, you're not going to be free from a disease. Like for example, you before you're a doctor, and then you learn into the education, but you're not careful what you eating, what you doing. Then you may get learn that about the medicine, but at the same time your body is full of disease. then still you're not careful, then one day it become untreatable. Then once it become untreatable, no matter how much you gain the knowledge, it's not going to change. Same thing is a similar way. We have to measure our dharma is a successful or not, is a how much change comes. It's not going to see that change is for maybe every week or every month. But if you measure yourself, how your behavior, how you're dealing, how you thinking from the before you meeting with the Dharma and after meeting Dharma, how much change comes. If nothing changing, your behavior, your thinking, your all those stay same before you meet with the Dharma, that is what is mean the ordinary here. So then we stay same ordinary, mean the same one, nothing change. So whatever who we are, nothing changed by the Dharma, same misbehavior, same misconduct, same, what called negative emotion, and then still learning lots of Dharma is then like that. So it's just like a doctor who learning the medicine, but not using themselves with how to take care of their own body. So then there's no point to be, no matter how much we learn, it's not going to change anything. So that way it's said stay in the ordinary. It's so remaining on the ordinary mean that just nothing change, same things before and now. Number 12, like a rich man without the key to his treasure. It's meaningless to be knowledge in the ordinary oral instruction, but not apply them in practice. So if rich one have all the wealth is securely put in somewhere, treasure house, really secure, then you lost the key. Then pretty much same as you don't have a wealth, because you cannot open the door and you cannot use them. So same thing is we receive those all oral instruction. The people love to receive especially high teachings, and sometimes at the lots of time people receive lots of teaching, but they don't know how to practice them. Somebody asked me how can meditate on the fourth training of the mind. So these things like that. So that means that they don't know. They know that what is the fourth training of the mind, but they don't know how to practice them. So things like that. Then it become like you have those all wealth, but you lost your key to get in there. Then it's the same as you don't have, because you couldn't use. Like blind leading to the blind, it is meaningless to be teach other significant of the spiritual practice you haven't realized yourself. So, this is especially those whatever we not experience, we don't have any realization teaching. Then it's like a blind one is leading to the blind one, not going to get anywhere. We just lost round and round. So that way, whatever you realize, whatever you understood, whatever you experience, and from there to give to the other. Otherwise, if you just reading the text, if you just, then this is actually not going to benefit that much. Anyone can read, you can read the text, I can read the text. So this is what I heard someone said, who understood, who have a really understand that really well Dharma, and that one, when they teach, they can make really simple You know, that meaning of the Dharma make really simple. It means that they really understand that true meaning. If you don't understand the true meaning, you really make the complicate, but nothing get there. So, and especially when it come to the like a Mahamudra and Dzogchen, those have to be realized, you know, highly realized one have to teach this one. How you realize is you have to put on the practice. So there, in the Kajiba said, Lama is need someone who tell you come here, not tell, that is good Lama, not the Lama who tell you go there. So this means that if you already achieve something, when you guiding to the student, you are telling to come here where you reach there, you know, this you lead them toward to you because you already got there. But you not get there. If you try to lead to others, then it's the same as telling to them to go there. You never been there, but telling go there. So that way, I think first we have to be learn ourselves. Second, we have to be experienced on that. Third, there will have to be some degree of achievement or realize from there. Then from there too, then guide to the other, then get benefit. So I think this is an example, you know. Like for example, we call them moral ethic discipline. If you really not get there, you not really understand, you not really experience on that, it become like torture. You know, you're not allowed to do this one, you cannot say this one, you not go there, you cannot wear this one. It's just so much controlling. But if you experience that, if you you know, practice that one, and you can feel like joy from that. So I think this is some people feel like a discipline as a, you know, controlling or you know, kind of torturing, and some people discipline mean the really benefit joyful life. So that is based on the you really getting into that or not, I think. So I think point is if I mean we have to experience that one, then you can see the quality. If you don't experience that yourself, you're not going to see the actual quality. Then so that's different. So I think it's just like for example, Vinaya. If we practice ourselves, you know, with the renunciation, then it give you feel sense of liberation, freedom. But if we not practice ourselves, then just follow with that one, then it will give you a sense of a discipline, like you're not allowed to do this and that, you know. So maybe, I don't know, this is related to or not, their story. There's one king uh, in India called Batika, his name is. So he was a king, then later he gave up kingdom, he became a monk. So he is in the forest. So then one day he was, you know, in the forest, he was kind of like screaming, saying, wow, this is so joyful. Wow, this is really enjoyable. And this is really happy. I'm really happy. I'm really joyful. So one monk heard that one and he went to the Buddha, discuss on that. Oh, how come this Badika is saying this one? And Buddha called him. And where you are saying that one, and he said, when I was a king, I have so many security guard, and I have a wall and a palace, but still I never feel like I'm secure. I never feel like I'm safe. But now I give up everything and I have no security, no God, not because of that, I let go everything. So I feel so joy. I feel so freedom. I feel so secure. There are nothing going to be harmful or anything. So this is I think like that, if we experience ourselves, then the taste is different than how other make you to do something, that way, those totally different outcomes. So things that is we're not experience ourselves, we're not practicing ourselves, we're not doing ourselves, and try to lead to other is become a blind one is blind because without any knowledge, without any what kind of outcome from there to tell to the other to do that one is it like these days people make a vaccine without any test. If somebody said, oh, this is a vaccine I'm going to use on you, it's not necessarily going to be get benefit. But if there's a really test and make sure it's a really good one, then it's a benefit. So I think similar like that. So overall, I think this is it. Number 13 is talking to me. I think so. Telling myself. I think now it's a number 14. It said, like a mistaking brass to be gold, brass to be gold. It's a meaningless to behold experience rising from the method to supreme while neglecting the search for the natural ultimate state. So this is like a, in the Buddhism, we divide it into two, wisdom and method. Like in the Mahayana tradition, Sutra tradition, Bodhicitta, and those kind of is called the method. Whatever you gain experience, joy, whatever you gain from the Bodhicitta, and that is a experience, what called the method experience. But then from there too, you go to the actual realization of the emptiness as wisdom, or there's called the shamatha, combined meditation, and vipassana of the realization of the suchness or emptiness. So through the combined meditation, you gain some experience, joyful, flexible. It's called the Xinjiang Dewa. It's a flexible joy of Xinjiang. I don't know exactly what English word use, but when you meditate, you become so peaceful, joyful, some kind of this kind of experience come as a bliss, clarity, and non-concept. That kind of experience come from the Kamabhati meditation. But then we attach on that experience, they think, oh, now I'm a great practitioner. Then you're not further, pursuing the ultimate nature realization, and it will go away soon. And that's in the Vajrayana, like we have a two in the Kagyu tradition called the method and wisdom. What is the method? It's a 6 yoga of Naropa. It's the method. And wisdom or called liberation, actually liberation path is called the Mahamudra. So, like for example, lots of people like a Tumu meditation, and there are not that many really successful Tumu practitioners, and if we have a little bit experience from the Tumu, from like a heat, and things like that, it comes from the Tumu, then we feel satisfied. Wow, I have great successful this kind of meditation, Tumu meditation. Lots of people do the yoga, okay? Once they become a yoga, become really flexible from the yoga, and they said, I'm great on this one. Actually, you only know the method part, not the wisdom part or the actual meanings. So that is the key way to get to the actual meaning of the Mahamudra. Tumu meditation. Through the Tumu meditation too, you gain some kind of a bliss. That bliss as a recognizing as the emptiness, then you get to reach to the Mahamudra. So when we're being too attached of the sudden experience from the method of the Tumu meditation, maybe kind of feel heat, and bliss, things like that, and not searching to the actual Mahamudra. So that is what it mean, is to say like you exchanging, you misunderstanding the breast as a gold. This is I'm not sure breast, or there's one look like a gold, is a gold color metal. Gold color metal is not gold. All the gold color metal is not gold. You have to recognize what is actually gold. So same thing as all those experience you gain through the practice is not the ultimate. So what is the difference is namely same, like for example, through the Kamabhidya meditation, you experience the bliss, emptiness, and bliss, clarity, and non-conceptual. And through the Vipassana, you will experience those two, realize those, that one. But the difference is when you have through the Kamabhidya, those experience is not really clear, not really stable, not really deep. But that is when through the realization of the Vipassana or Mahamudra, then it's become more deeper, more profound, and more clear. Then that one, that is actually realization. So if we attach to the experience, that experience sooner or later will go. And it's not going to be stay there. But if you have a realization, then we will be there. So this day, lots of Vajrayana practitioners, they focusing too much on them, like how to use the Vajra, how to use the bell, how to use the drum, how to use the ball, how to chant, how to recite the mantra. And those all is the most important, but not really actually what is the generation stage, what is the completion stage. No, lots of people don't really, understand those things. Then long as you know how to use the ritual, they said, oh, he's a great practitioner. So I'm not sure that is, because we misunderstand of the actual practice as a, method. So learning ritual is a method. Through the ritual too, and gaining or understanding and realization of the generation stage and the completion stage is the realization. So I think some of you know, Lamkhen Rinpoche said, some church practitioners, they are so much emphasizing on the how, focusing on the learning for how to use the drum, how to use the bell, how to use the melody. The most important is they think those are, but not about the meaning of the church. So if you don't have the meaning of the church, no matter how beautiful melody you can use, no matter how, elegantly you can use a drum and bell, is not going to benefit anything. This is mistaking as a breast, as a gold. These were the 14 things are meaningless.
Đây là 14 điều vô nghĩa.
Now here's 18 error for the Dharma practitioners. Once we want to be Dharma practitioner, and make sure all the errors shouldn't become in our way. So here, first one is that the Dharma practitioner in error when he or she, doesn't matter, live in exclusion and still strive for greatness in a worldly life. So this is it means that if you live in the exclusion, like it's called the monastery in the Tibetan, Gompa. Gompa means the really isolated place, like not have distraction, retreat place or whatever is used in the Basubandhu's Abhidhamma said, for ordinary, like just ordinary human beings, 400 arm span, 400 arm span as a called the distance is called from the town to the place is called the Gomba or exclusion place. So we go there and do all those mundane worldly life activities. Then it's no point about going there. You can do all those say in the town. Where we join into the monastic life or dharma life, that way we become a less distraction from the activities, so we can have a more time to dharma activities like hearing, contemplating, meditations. But if you even join to the monastery, then they are so busy with the doing mundane activities like building, doing business or whatever, lots of things there need to do. Then it's not same, it's nothing different than just staying home. So Holiness always said this one: monks is not about making money. If you really aiming to the more point, making money and collecting the donation, it's the best way to just do the business. It's better. Dharma is not for the making money. So Dharma shouldn't be aimed for the making money. So there's lots of time we become it this way. Then it's just a big, it become an error or mistaking. So that way, we should be try to avoiding all those worldly life or worldly activities. So then it's become a less distraction, so we can focus on our mind to the meditation. So this is directly talking to the monks and nuns who renounce completely from the worldly life. Okay, but I mean, lots of people are not really monks and nuns who practice in Dharma. So I think main point is saying is we cannot use Dharma as this life's benefit. So Dharma is not you are running away from this life. Joining to the Dharma is because of your fear of not having enough food, not having enough clothes. That way join to the Dharma. So if you join to the Dharma, you gain all those food and money and wealth, power, respect. Then it's like a become an arrow. The same as number two. Dharma practitioner is in error when he lead other in still strive for selfish aim. This is also directly talking to the monastic, in the monastery, we have called the abbot, we have a chan master, we have a discipliner. Those are administration, but also they are kind of like leading to all the sangha through the ritual practice and study. Everything's leading by them. Since you become that kind of position, if you thinking yourself, this is I think in the modern it's called the corruption. Yeah, like you join to the politician, to the government cabinet, and you're doing only your own benefit. All your power is using for your family and your friends' benefit. It's called the corruption. Similarly, if you become an ordained monk, when you become a monk, at some point you have to take those responsibility about being abbot, Khenpo, being chan master, being a vaja master, and those they have a own position. When you get those positions, you cannot use your own personal aim. If you use the personal aim for gaining on the personal aim, that means you are not good leader on those, and you're not really leading that community right way. You have to be as a self benefit, have to let go, and you have to focus to what is good for that temple, what is good for the center. So same thing is what it doesn't matter we are lay or ordained, doesn't matter. Everyone have our own community. Like a lot of you have a center, yeah. When come to the center, your aim is to put also what is best for the center. You know, what is the best for the lineage? What is the best for the community? Not what is best for me. Because if you put yourself as the most important, what is best for you, selfishness, you're not going to become a good leader. You are a corrupted leader. You're misleading and not good for the community, not good for the lineage, not good for the center, not good for the monastery. Anyone, if you become a corrupted leader, any kind of a position, so long as there is a community, is not good for that. So that is a doesn't matter you're leading monastic life or you leading the lay life. Is when you get to the some position. And then lots of lay people get to the position, like you get to the town, leader to the town, leader to the community, leader to the neighborhood. Always be like for example, some American, they have a neighborhood watch. Yeah, your neighborhood watch. It means that your job to watch all the neighbor, not just only protect your house. If you become a protecting only your house, and you're not neighborhood watch, you're watching your house. So similar like that. Once you become a corrupted with this, then you're not suitable to the becoming leader of that community. I think basically the same. So if you want to become a leader of that community or that organization, you have to be let go self-cherishing. You have to let go the self-center. You don't put the aim. Whatever you're doing plan, don't put the aim of your own benefit. Put the best way to benefit for that organization, for that community, for that neighbor, whatever. So then it's become a good leader. And third one said, the Dharma practitioner is an arrow when he is knowledgeable in the teaching, but still doesn't shy away from the commenting non-virtue. So it's just like doctor. Your doctor tell you you have a sugar problem, but you don't want to give up your chocolate. So you cannot blame to the doctor. You cannot blame to the medicine is not working or anything, because since you don't want to give up what is main causing to that problem. So same thing is no matter how much knowledge we have, it doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything. It will not follow to the prescription of that knowledge. It will not follow to that direction what they're giving you from the Dharma. Then it doesn't matter you knowing or not knowing. Is it nothing change? So this is error, or that is a false of not following to that direction, not following to that information. So I think this is pretty much simple. Practitioner is the arrow when he has received the abundant oral instruction, and his mind still remain that of the ordinary person. So this is the ordinary. I think that's the same as before. Before you receive the oral instruction, you are one person. And you received also teaching from the guru, master, and the Dharma brother and sisters. After the receiving those all knowledge, and how much change come to your personality, how much change come to your mind. If nothing change, then that is a mistake. That is what it mean. The ordinary mean. It's not talking about the ordinary or extraordinary. I think before same one before. If nothing changed, then that is a mistake. Nothing benefit, because it's not benefit anything. Nothing outcome from that to good result. So that way, when we receive those all instructions from the guru, and some kind of a change must come. We will see that one after the long time period of time. I think most people have that change. We'll see how much change. Lots of people told me this is true. They said one person had some problem in their life, and he told me, if I don't have Dharma now this day, at this point. I will be really, really difficult to deal with this one. But right now, I'm okay. I know how to deal with this. So, I mean, there's a lot of change comes. It's not saying as you become a saint or something, change come immediately, like become from the ordinary to become a Buddha or anything. That kind of a hope is not talking about. There's a how much change come in you, in your fundamentally, how much change come from the Dharma. If that any change coming, then good. If nothing change come, you stay same, remaining same person before the Dharma, and you are ordinary, same ordinary one. Okay, so thank you so much. I think too late for you now, so we stop here. Chanchu sem joy Rinpoche manje banai je joche je bai nyam bai men bai ya kone gondo pe wai joy tata konde tan je je tu sundo sabada yebe jebe sabad Tata Sinje Danje Nyundo Lana Mamba Yanda Basabe Janjo Rinpoche Tapa Joje Ishisha Kuse Kunje Juje Dende Nana Wanda Dekomba Renje Beje Dembasit Shetu Tusan Kombe Zenjoje. Thank you so much. And